This is the all-new Community Connection. I'm your host, Jade Harrell, keeping you connected to our community. Well, we're excited to introduce the new Healthworks Kids Museum, the region's first ever children's museum solely dedicated to health education. I am joined today by the president and CEO, Shannon Woodcock of Healthworks. Welcome, Shannon.
Thank you so much for having me.
My goodness, this is a good, grand day for you.
Yes, it's been extremely exciting to see Healthworks come together and open to the community, and there's just no greater joy than seeing the kids come through the door and their eyes light up as they're experiencing the museum for the first time and seeing all that we have to offer.
Sure. Well, let's share with our listeners all about the Healthworks Museum, how the idea was generated in the first place.
Yeah, sure. So it's most of the listeners may remember that we started as the Dental Health Theater down on Laclede's Landing. So we were actually in operation for over 38 years. Right down on Laclede's Landing, operating as Delta Dental Health Theater, teaching kids about oral health, nutrition, and exercise. And, as a small 2,000 square foot theater, we were still able to see and impact the lives of about 20,000 children and caregivers a year.
My goodness.
What we realized was there was so much more that needed to be done. Whether it was through the community needs assessment that Cardinal Glennon and Children's Hospital put out, as well as talking to our own stakeholders and teachers in the community, as well as parents. There was just a much greater opportunity for us to be able to expand our programming, but also give children and caregivers some hands-on experiences as well. So, fortunately, I got to become a part of the Association of Children's Museums, and I've spent the last kind of 6 to 8 years traveling around the country, looking at children's museums, identifying what was working for them and maybe what wasn't, and really kind of bringing back the best practices and the best exhibits that could potentially impact our community the most, as well as meet the needs of our community the most. And about 2 years ago, I had the great fortune of running into the program people and the executive director of Healthworks Kids Museum out of South Bend. So we are now the third Healthworks Kids Museum in the United States.
Brilliant.
We are our own separate entity, but we all share the same programs as far as our learning theaters, which our learning theater is Delta Dental Health Theater that's now out of our Healthworks Kids Museum here. We all have the same programs that cover everything from anatomy, physiology, nutrition, exercise, conflict resolution, the body systems, you name it. We cover it as far as a health education piece through our programs. But then we all have very different exhibit floors. So some of the things that our guests can experience when they come to Healthworks Kids Museum here in St. Louis, we have a giant 55-foot long, 25-foot wide, interactive playground that is shaped like a giant body.
Yes.
It is all-inclusive. It was very important to me that we start focusing on inclusion and including all of the children and caregivers in our community. So he's got a ramping system so that children of any ability can, still participate on the top level of the playground. It's got a leg that kids can slide down. The organs underneath the rib cage are interactive, so they can play 2 games underneath the rib cage and challenge their peers to some fun interactive pieces. It's a great experience for kids, and it really gives them a glimpse of the human body like they've never seen before.
Mm-hmm. Talk about the value of that.
Well, I think if you think about some of the things that you maybe visited or saw when you were a kid, like when we started coming up with this concept, everybody said, that sounds like the heart exhibit in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And apparently there was a museum in Chicago that had this heart exhibit that you could walk through it, and it had an impact on people, and they remember it till this day. It's kind of like our giant set of teeth.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers the 3 feet tall set of fiberglass teeth, and they're here with us now. They have become their own exhibit here in the museum. But it's that piece that resonates with kids, and it's something that they always remember. And it's also, something that kind of gives them that aha moment of, maybe this is what we look like on the inside, or, that exciting moment of, laughing when they walk past the poop panel and it makes sound effect noises. We have a metric that we use here to see how engaged kids are, and part of it is revolved around laughing and cheering each other on, and kids retain the most knowledge when they're fully engaged in either a program or exhibit.
Sure. And then studies show how immersion in an experience makes that learning lasting and embeds it much more deeply.
Absolutely. And, I do not want to pick on the zoo. We absolutely love the zoo and everything like that. But, kind of one of the examples I give, and it comes right back to us. It just, and what we can do too. You can take an animal from the zoo and take them to a classroom and show the kids the animal. And are they going to learn something? Absolutely.
Right.
But you take those same kids in that classroom on a field trip to the zoo and you immerse them in that experience. Who's going to take away the most knowledge? And it's the same concept for us. We can take our lungs on the road and we can take them, our healthy lung versus unhealthy lung, into the classroom. But the kids who are immersed here and they get the chance to climb on the body and see where those same lungs are inside the body, or, sit in the program in the theater here versus sitting in their classroom in the same desk they sit in every single day, they're going to retain so much more and they're going to learn so much more from having that experience.
Oh, for sure. And then look at what they're learning. See, this is something that will impact their complete lives. Not only based on that understanding, but where they may go from there with that knowledge, how they may impart that on their families. It really can be a transformative and long-lasting, powerful experience. So this is genius, and it's just in time for summer.
Absolutely. And one of those things that you just said as far as, having them transfer this knowledge to their families, that's key, especially like when these summer camps are coming to visit us, or school field trips are coming to visit us. Kids miss, I think it's like 53 million school hours a year from health-related problems. And I think that statistic alone is just for oral health-related problems.
That's a huge impact.
Yes. And, if we can get kids to do the simple thing of washing their hands before they eat, or inspiring them or empowering them to wash their hands after they go to the bathroom, and we can do it in a fun way where, maybe mom forcing them to do it isn't as fun. I have a 6-year-old. I know how this goes.
Yeah, and it's not fun for us either. You know this.
Right. But, these are little behavior changes that we are empowering children to adopt, and we are encouraging them to do, that can translate back at home and can encourage their siblings or their friends to do as well. And we're essentially making them be the health advocates for our community. Teach them from a young age, teach them what to do in a positive way, and we will change our community's health trajectory.
That is fantastic, and I'm very excited about it. This thing is larger than life. What a phenomenal effort to even make it possible. You went from 2,000 to 12,000 square feet.
Yes, we did. And oh my gosh, it was definitely a process.
So if someone said, well, what is this thing? How would you describe it to someone who had no idea?
So for us, it is a children's museum that is dedicated solely to health education. And some people are like, well, what's a children's museum? And you have to kind of break that down for some people and let them know it is really a safe, interactive place for children and their caregivers to come play and learn together. there are parents and caregivers and teachers who are learning just as much as the kids when they come here.
That's the truth.
And that's our goal, is to, we say our goal is to infectiously contaminate kids of all ages to learn, have fun, and make great life choices.
I love that. Infectiously contaminate them with great life choices. These are great plays on words. And then you do understand that they're children. The fact that you have a poop panel is epic in a child's life. They want an opportunity, a environment to make and experience those sounds.
Definitely. And that it's okay. You're not going to get in trouble for talking about poop and farts here.
I tell my children everything poops. Everything does. And they're like, hey, Mom. I said, let's have fun with it. And this will be a great way to do so. What is the ideal age group for this museum?
Yeah, sure. So our programs really target preschool through elementary school. The exhibit floor, like the playground and everything, is primarily focused on 2 to 12. But we will also eventually have special programs for middle school kids as well as infants too, where, we can work with the moms on how they interact with their infants and cognitive ability and balance and things of that nature too. But yeah, like I said, we're focused on that preschool through elementary school age, but there really is something here for everyone. So,
what an interesting job you have!
It's so much fun.
It does sound like it, but it sounds like it's so rewarding. In addition,
it is, and I've been so fast paced lately, just trying to get the museum open. I haven't really taken the time to celebrate. What we've been able to accomplish. I mean, we still have a ways to go on the fundraising side as far as, we had a $2.5 million campaign. We really have about another $400,000 left to raise to close it out successfully. But we have done it. It's here.
I mean, it really is. Grab your 6-year-old and get over there.
Yes.
On an off-peak time and enjoy it, because you really have something to be proud of. Well, do me a favor, Shannon, send out the invitation for our listeners to come visit, learn more, and get involved.
Yes, please come visit us. We are now open to the public from Tuesday through Saturday from 9:30 to 4:30. We are also open on Sundays from 12 to 4. We are still working on our website. It is up and running right now at hwstl.org. We're working on getting our calendar up there and updated so that they'll be able to see a daily list of programs. And, especially parents with younger kids, it doesn't hurt for them to call ahead of time, 314-241-7391, to just ask what our flow looks like for the day, as far as if we have a large school group or a large summer camp coming in, we can tell them the best time that it may be to come bring, the real little guys out to the museum. So come see us. And, we welcome your support. We can only do this through the support of our community. So if you want to join us as a family membership or an individual membership, or make a donation, you can do all that from the webpage as well. Or, like I said, come in, see it for yourself, and any of our staff members are happy to talk to you.
I absolutely love it. And I really appreciate that you have a consideration for parents with that, to call and ask about the flow. That's very important.
It is. And we knew coming from a theater, we were always reservation based, and that coming here, it would take the general public some time to understand that there's going to be school groups coming through. And we had a last minute school group come through this week where, we were explaining to parents, just know ahead of time, or know moving forward, please do not hesitate. You're not bothering us by calling us and just asking, are there any large groups scheduled for today, or would today be a great day to bring the little guys in? And, we want everyone to have the best museum experience when they come here, and we can only do that if we're able to give them as much information as possible, so that they feel, like they came in and they had enough time to spend there, they weren't overcrowded, or that thing, that as well. So
excellent, absolutely excellent. Certainly appreciate it and what you are doing here. This is a great opportunity for you to make a difference and cement this learning about who we are and what goes on with our health, and especially appreciate teaching our children to be the health advocates of our community. Shannon Woodcock, the president and CEO of Healthworks Kids Museum St. Louis, located at 1100 Macklind Avenue near the St. Louis Science Center. Admission is $7 per person and free for those little people that are 2 years old and younger. Parking is also free.
Absolutely.
All right, that's it for this week. If you have questions or comments or have something you'd like to include in the community calendar, you can leave a message on our message box at 314-333-8369, 314-333-8369. And for more information about our show or any of our guests, you can visit us online and listen to the podcasts at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. And search Community Connection with Jade Harrell. You all be blessed, do blessed, and take care.